you have that divine spark inside of you. You have it. And it's really up to you to just bring it out or honor it or embody it in a day-to-day basis.
Welcome to the Orykl podcast, Spiritual Stories. I'm Wenu Solsona, your host. Today, I am chatting with Natalia Grace. She's one of Orykl's practitioners, and I am very interested in hearing her story because I remember we spoke originally when she signed up, and she did tell me a little bit about herself, but I am super intrigued about her life story, so I am really excited to be here with you, Natalia, and thank you so much for coming and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Beautiful. So let me ask you this. What do you think is your mission in life right now?
I love this question. Honestly, my mission, there's like my personal mission and there's my mission to be in service with others. But my mission is to be in full devotion to spirit, just over and over again, devoting myself to this path and refining myself and also being in service to other people, especially what I call like the archetype of the warriors of God, and support them unlock those divine codes within them and release the distortions and illusions that have been, placed upon them or they have placed upon themselves so that they can reclaim that inner warrior, reclaim that divine essence and be able to align their life with that of spirit.
Yeah. So in very few words, like how would you describe what you do in more practical terms?
Okay. So I basically hold shamanic vision quests in person, but I also support other people through online work, which is the quantum energy work that I've received when I had my light body activate. So it's like a download that I received from spirit. And also I support people that go through their light body activation to actually support them integrate that experience because when I had it myself, I had nobody and it was really intense and difficult. So I just realized that that is another part of what I want to do is to support people integrate it so that they can better navigate and be able to ground that experience in their day-to-day life. And in terms of the quantum energy, what I find it to be super powerful is because it goes down into the root source program of where the block, the issue, the lock in their life is. And we kind of recode it into the energetic field. And sometimes it stems from this lifetime or it could stem from other lifetimes. So it's not just going into clearings because we can also do clearings of entities, we can do releasing of attachments. It's really a journey. It's very multidimensional. So it has so many different aspects. But the core of it is that we actually go to the root source program of where the issue is and rewrite it on an energetic level.
So Natalia, what childhood beliefs did you grow up with in terms of who we are and our connection to spirit?
Oh, so really, through my childhood, I say that I truly struggled to find myself in the world and to find God in the way that I wanted it. So I basically grew up in Lebanon. So it's already a very tight and constricted culture and environment, and also very religious. So I grew up in a Christian environment. But at the same time, I was consistently seeking God in the way that was provided to me, which was through the church and all of that to an extent where, my mom even said at one point, "You're going to be a nun," because I was just consistently seeking what I know deep down I wanted. So just be praying over and over again instead of, maybe playing with other kids. But then there was a point where, I got into my teenage years that I got back into the allure. So, wanted to fit in and all of that. But I would say that it was a very strong struggle for me to find the truth, to find myself, especially that I was seeing beyond the veil when I was very young. And it wasn't received, through Christianity. It was like, so I had to experience exorcism, which was really traumatizing. And,
Wow.
for other people, it's like, you're crazy.
Did they do a session on you supposedly to remove something? And what had they seen that they thought that you needed this? And who did this?
Yeah, I feel that at least in that environment of religion, like Christianity in that space, they believe that if you see beyond the veil, it's demonic. So it's not like it's not a good thing. Like the demons or Satan is going to get you to see through the veil, because also I believe there's this belief system that Jesus is the only way through, and that actually the veil was put for us to protect us from the spirit realm. So yeah, that's what it is. I just shared that like I was seeing things and I was like, okay, I got to experience exorcism. And of course, things didn't go away because it's not, what they believed.
Wow. That's just super interesting. Maybe it's just for another podcast in terms of seen beyond the veil, seen as something bad, because as we know, it's a very liberating thing and it's a very empowering thing. And so to keep somebody from accessing that is a control mechanism, sounds like to me. Is there a memory maybe from your childhood that kind of encapsulates how you were feeling during that time? Like an event that happened that would explain how you felt?
Yeah, that's where it's taking me back to when I had my pineal gland activated again as a teenager, because I used to see through the veil as a young child and even get like premonitions in dreams and all of that. But then it was shut down as, when I was 12 or 13 and got into like, I want to belong and I want to, date and I want to, mingle. And then when I was 16, it just activated again. Because when you said that memory, and I remember it was really freaky for me because I was like, what is that? Like my entire senses just got heightened. And I just felt super isolated. And I tried to kind of dive into answers myself. And then I saw that it's like even went into like psychology and then like it's kind of a mental illness or like a hallucinate or, OCD or whatever. So then I went down that rabbit hole and I was constantly seeking answers, but I couldn't find any, and what was available, right? Which was religion and mental health. Like there was nothing else, medical and this. And
Right.
I couldn't find. So I definitely felt very isolated and dissociated. And I always felt there was something wrong. But instead of feeling like there's something wrong with the world, I just put it into myself, that there's something wrong
Yes.
with me.
And I think that when you don't have the literature and the information around you, and the books are not there, and the people are not there, and you really are going through this really crazy experience, which I'd love to know a little bit more about, like what it physically felt for you as well. It's very scary. And you do think, well, how do you know if you're right? How do you know that you're not going crazy? How do you know that whatever they said is not true? So it must be a very scary time. And so how did you get out of that? What eventually happened to make you realize that, oh, actually, no, it's my gift, or this is where I should be going?
Well, actually, there was this phase where I ended up, getting medicated, antidepressant, all this, because I also thought that's what was needed, went to the psychiatrist like, oh, it's just serotonin deficiency or whatever it was. I was like, okay. And of
Mm.
course that made it much worse because it just completely numbs you out and makes you like a zombie. And then I started just getting into, Buddhism, and I started practicing meditation and yoga, and I was feeling better. I started getting like, okay, this is making a lot of sense. Like as if all of a sudden everything that I
Mm.
was feeling or thinking of myself is making sense. And had few friends that I could relate with that had the same experience. So that was the initial point where I found specific comfort in that, but it wasn't fully. But I used to meditate, and that's when I started hearing spirits. So spirits started talking to me and giving me messages or answers or even go through visions. And again, I didn't fully get into it until like I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Again, being young here, 20, wanting to party and all that. Until there was one moment where I had a sexual harassment experience and it didn't go into like the full what it was supposed to be because the person just looked above me and behind me and there was literally nothing because we were like in a place where there could have nothing been up and behind. And I remember just him freaking out and then like, he dropped me. And in that moment, I think it shook my whole world where I was like, wait a second, what was that? There was something that just literally protected me there. And that just put me back on course into the path. And I started being fully devoted to, prayer and meditation and all of this.
Mm. I know now that you work with a lot of people. Is there somebody that is your best client in the sense that you feel that you could help this person the most? I know everybody can get help from these kind of sessions, but who would you say would be the most beneficial?
Yeah, honestly, for me, I really feel it's like, as I mentioned in the beginning, is really working with the archetype of the warrior of God. The ones that know that they're here to really activate that divine spark within them. And they know that they are here to be, the gatekeepers, whether it's activated in them or not. But even when I'm saying this, I'm sure they feel it inside, that they know that they've always been kind of between worlds. But at the same time, they know that there's something much more for them to activate and to anchor in the light, like their full devotion to the light of awareness and to spirit. This is the
Mm.
archetype of people that I work with.
Can you maybe share with us a story from one of your clients of change after working with you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, something that I can say like a pattern in most of them is really like a huge shift of paradigm where they realize or they recode a pattern or kind of what I call like kind of a ceiling. They've been like stuck in a specific ceiling that they've been in, and all of a sudden they get unlocked into that, and it just shifts their reality completely because they're stepping into something new. And most of the time, also, it has to do with power. So they realize that they were scared of their light. They were maybe did not meet their light. They
Mm.
did not step into that version of themselves. They've been playing disempowered. They've been, hiding just in that distortion. And then all of a sudden
Oh,
now there's a lot more clarity. But yeah, one of the things I can say is that like the latest person that had like an immense breakthrough was also huge releases of trauma and pain, even like pain that's been carried around for like 20 years, and a lot of like self doubt and this huge energy that just kind of puts him down, and just locks him. And all of a sudden, he was able to find the strength again to break his heart open, because this is really what it comes down to at the end. Like when one like opens up into their light and anchor in into the light, it's like that's why I said it's that warrior energy where you just unlock. Like there's all these things that are trying to put you down and jump, and it requires that much force and strength to kind of release it and meet yourself there for who you truly are, rather than the projections or the ideas or the conditionings that have been put on you.
mm. It's so funny. It kind of sounds like I'm your perfect client because, I think everyone's journey, and I'm also in this journey of spreading more light. I'm not a practitioner myself with clients, but I help you guys to do it. So I'm an extension. We're all a sort of a team working together. And I feel like that's constantly the thing that comes up for me is like, how am I scared of my own light? Right. It's stepping really into my power. And it was actually Nelson Mandela who said, our greatest fear is our power. And it is that. It's like we're so scared to shine that light for, I don't know, a whole bunch of reasons, I guess. And the funny thing is that I've been swimming a lot lately, and the last couple of days I've had this. I've never really worked with archetypes, to be honest. It hasn't, been a thing that's called to me. But now I've got these three archetypes that have really come to be being the athlete, because I'm really swimming a lot and being very healthy physically. The warrior, which I've always had in me, but I think now it's become more the warrior of light and really
Yeah.
stepping into my power. And then the last one is the queen. And the queen is my feminine side too. And, that grace and the kindness for me that I feel like I need to work on in some ways in my life. So I very much resonate with everything that you said. I think you do wonderful work. And for those that are ready, I hope that, more come and see you and experience, and for you to share more of your lights, right? So, is there something that people usually misunderstand about the work that you do that you would like to explain?
That's a big question because I feel that it's underestimated, the power that comes through it, and even just words don't give it justice. So honestly, I don't know how much more I can clarify, but I feel the only way, and so many people have reported that as well through working, is that they didn't know, what to expect. Like they had kind of an idea, but it was like nothing, close to what they've expected. Or for example, they knew that it was intense or deep, but they understand like that it's deep or intense in that level. And so many, like, it's reported over and over again, like the work is not for the faint-hearted. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's just really deep. Yeah.
Amazing. And last one, is it something that you would love it if the whole world could understand about themselves, about ourselves, about who we are, or something else? And if everybody knew this one thing, it would make all the difference, perhaps.
Okay. So what I would really say, and it's really something, really my message that I just speak over and over again about, which is we are in a daily battle. We are in the spiritual warfare. This is what I go with, what I know, what I've experienced, what I share with people, and what I support other people break out of. And just remember that, because there is a constant choice that you can make every single day to choose your light, to choose spirit, to choose your heart, or to choose to fall back, what I say, fall back out of consciousness, which is to be under the veil, under the amnesia of the unconscious behaviors and unconscious loops, or the dark energies and dark entities. So I feel this is an important message, because once we remember that, it's like that is where the devotion comes back, that you have that divine spark inside of you. You have it. And it's really up to you to just bring it out or honor it or embody it in a day-to-day basis.
I love that. I always say that I feel like we've got enough information out there in the world in terms of what we should be doing, but there isn't enough courage, perhaps, for people to commit to that. And we need to start walking the talk a little bit more and just put on our big girl panties on and just go. Because if we talk about it and we say, yes, yes, it's an internal job and it really is, and blah, blah, blah. But then, like, we turn around and we're the victims again, and the government this and this, that, and whatever. And I'm not denying any of the bad stuff out there in the world, but I mean, we have to commit to this self growth if we really want to see our world change. Like me, you, the next guy, and, as many people as possible. So
Exactly.
I love that you've got it seems like a very also like, guys, we're here to do the work kind of thing,
Exactly.
attitude, right?
There's no other way.
If
I'm
you are not
sorry.
here to do the work, just maybe don't go to Natalia. Okay, well, thank you so much. Is there any parting words that you want to leave us with? Anything at all?
You just said it. It's like there's no other way but through. And I'm sure that every person listening to
Mm,
this, like, they know that they've been feeling it. They're feeling something. It's been for a while. They're feeling the wrong thing in the world, the wrong thing that is like just the amplification of, the distortions. And they feel that they're in the cusp of something. They feel it. They feel that there is that
mm,
shift. So, like you said, courage was very beautiful. Just find the courage and just do it. Whatever that is. Doesn't have to be, with me or, with you or whatever. But whatever it is, just do it. Just go for it. And it's going to be so rewarding because you don't know what's on the other side, literally. Yeah.
amazing. Well, thank you so, so much, Natalia. Thank you for doing the work that you do. Thank you for your courage. And
Thank you.
obviously, thank you for being on Orykl.
Thank you. That was really lovely. Thank you.